We're live. So, yes, I got my good friend Austin over here. Austin, introduce yourself. Hello? I hear nothing now. It ain't a Leo stream without some technical issues. Did you mute yourself on Discord? Oh, yeah,
Nah.
don't mute yourself on Discord.
Okay.
Now I can hear you.
All right.
Nice. Where you says sup? Who's that sexy ass boy? So, so yes, the 10 out of 10 man right here is Austin, the life coach, the guest for today. And so, yeah, Austin, tell us about what you do, man.
Yeah, I end up helping people plan goals for their life and develop healthy habits so that they can actually live better lives. And I help them set up game plans to reach their goals.
Do you also
And
help
right
people
now,
with getting hard?
oh, that's a good goal.
It is a good goal. It's a good goal. But no, it's super admirable stuff, man. So, what would you say is like what got you into wanting to like help people out and all type of stuff?
I just find myself, I feel like I do a good job with it, but I've always loved reading those kind of books, like building habits, the setting up good lives, goals, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of people ask me for advice all the time. So, and I find myself really liking when I can actually help someone out.
It's super admirable, man. Wait, sorry, give me 1 second. My door's open. It just makes it so uncomfortable. All right, I'm back. Hey, Lolly Slayer, what's poppin', my guy? Um, so, yeah. So, all right, chat. For people who are like watching right now, I made a mistake. I didn't make up questions beforehand. I kind of was like, "Yo, Austin, we're gonna talk, right?" I completely forgot. It's like I should have set something up in advance. So, if you guys want some like good questions and all type of stuff, like what do you want to ask like a life coach or like anything like that? Feel free to ask questions and like we'll respond to all that. Yeah, I agree with Cinnables. What's going on? Where Idiot says, "Nuh-uh, he's pretty. He's the sexiest man on the planet."
I am pretty. I aim to be pretty. That's my goal.
Ooh, my heart is fluttering. But so when you say like how many years ago started like the life coach arc, would you say? Because my guess is it wasn't like just destined right when you were born. Oh, I'm gonna be a life coach, right?
Pretty much, it was just I was just working through my regular the job I had, and I saw some advertisement, so I went to go get trained, and I just loved talking to the people around the world that were in that program and being trained to be certified, and it was nice to practice coaching other people and actually helping them out.
Dang, that's nice, man. I'll say so you see like life coaching is pretty close to like self improvement, all type of stuff, right? And
Could you say that again?
I said, sorry, that like life coaching and all that's pretty similar to like self improvement, right? And
Yeah, it's all about self improvement pretty much. It's helping people improve themselves, helping ask questions and helping guide them to answers to reach their next level.
that's cool, man. That's cool. Uh, bit of a side tangent, but like I kind of want to go bit about like how it got me to my arc. So chat right now is like, oh, I'm about to blow, and the other one's like, me too. Speaking of blowing, I got cheated on a year and a half ago, in my own house, right? And so I gotta say, like, dude, I was like
Whoa.
down bad, super down bad, right? But I gotta say, it's probably like the best thing that happened to me, right? Not because I'm cuck, but like, what's it called? Uh, Afterwards, kind of like put things in perspective. Like when you're like super down bad, it kind of helps you strive to go up, if you get what I mean, compared to like just being at a good point. It's kind of like a wake up call, like, oh, I gotta like do things with my life because things were rough, you know what I mean? And then ever since then, I started to look up like self improvement stuff. All started with Ice Cold GT with a 1 year no fat video, and I thought it was a joke. It was like legitimately just like, oh, I stop out and he's like legit getting muscle and like working out all type of stuff, and I'm like, dang, that's fucking cool. So, so that's kind of what got me into my whole improvement with that. I'm trying to like self improvement, all type of stuff. See, one thing I think that's pretty cool about you though, man, is that you try incorporating like learning Japanese with it to a degree, right? So like, tell us a bit about that.
A lot of the stuff I've learned, what a lot of the stuff I've learned I use to help study Japanese. Like I've built habits to like hit that study goal every day, and I've worked at and I've like learned a lot of useful study habits from just like learning self-improvement and stuff, so that I could better like learn and learn faster, and all about like breaking things down into the smallest parts, including with like habits and learning anything. Just break it to its smallest parts, and then you can learn it a lot faster and build upon the bricks.
Right. And so it's like kind of like you're like learning Japanese, so then if you have like how I put it, a client, I suppose, you can be like, oh, hey, this is like how I did it with this type of a thing. Help compare all that. Sorry, Chad just remind me I got to turn off my phone. Making fun of the Samsung phone, man. Nah, that's where it's that's the good stuff right there. Compared to like, anyways, that's a side tangent. But yeah, man. So it says like your favorite part about the journey of learning Japanese.
Part of learning Japanese is just being able to like actually hit little milestones where I can understand like sentences that people are saying, rather than just being like, oh, I know that one word.
Yeah, I know,
or
man.
Or being able to like talk to someone, even if it's just listening, because I don't know what to say.
Yeah, my biggest thanks for Patrick. Yeah, my biggest problem is like I'll talk to someone, right? And dude, maybe I might know every single word in there, but it's like stringing the words together is like the hardest thing for me. It's like,
yeah, that's difficult.
For sure, man, for sure. 1 second. So, there ain't nothing like using AI. So I got a whole list of AI stuff right here for questions. Though I do wonder, what is one thing you find that people are most curious about when it comes to like life coaching, or like yours? How about like some good stories, I guess you could say. Life coaching, like cool things you've seen.
Seen is like a lot of people that go to life coaching are like trying to hit that next level in like some goal they had. Like there was someone I was working with before who was like trying to start her own business, and she wasn't like sure how to move forward with that. So I was able to help her like brainstorm and come up with like different ideas of like how she could keep going and starting and moving forward. Like she eventually came up with like a nice business model where she was going to do some like learning circles, where like every few months or so she would have like a circle of people that would like she would teach how to be better leaders. And I also helped her get through like some physical rehabilitation, like help her set like goals to stick with her like physical therapy habits, just so that she could rebuild the strength, because she had some physical problems that happened. But other than that, like that was a fun client to work with.
I see. Sorry, Lolly's in chat trying to kill me. I'm not sure if it shows up on your screen, but I have like little things that they're able to do. And it says, for 69 channel points, make me drink water. So that's why I'm drinking it like fucking madman. But anyways, no, it's cool though, man. I say drink again. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Come want to mention. Oh, you're joining in too. I think you can take one for the team. How about that? Oh, dude. All right. I remember back in the day, man. I used to stream for like fucking hours. I used to do like 12-hour streams the whole time, right? I like just forget to drink or eat. And it says be forever, so I set it up there. Jesus fuck, dude. All right.
You're gonna be out of water.
I almost am. I'm not, you're joining? Oh, nice, thank you. But yeah. Alright, wait, chat out here trying to drown you, man. Yeah, for real, man. Dude, when I first put it in there, people spammed it so hard. I used to have a thing where it says, like, oh, do push-ups, because I want to be, like, more physically fit. And so, I'd ask the chat for it. And, oh, I gotta drink water again. But then it quickly went up to, like, 1,000, like, push-ups for the stream. And I'm like, I literally can't. It's literally impossible, so, yeah. But I can destroy my bladder, it's no big deal. Next time I get it, I fill it up. But, yeah, man, what's called? I was wondering about talking about a bit more like, my experience with you. So, Jesus Christ! All right, hold up. I'm putting a pause in the drinking water. It's not gonna end. But I want to be a bit more about like my experience. Cause I remember like back in the day when I started learning Japanese and all that. Like we became friends because we tried like we knew a friend of ours that was into like language learning. He's like, oh hey, I know a guy's trying to learn Japanese, and I'm like, all right, bet. And so. What's it called? I gotta say, like, it definitely helps for sure, like, a lot. And I wonder, like, for everyone who's, like, watching in chat, like, what do you think? Yeah, all right. Since you guys have a question to, like, ask, like, a life advice coach, whatever, right? What would you guys say is, like, something you guys struggle with the most? And I think for me, it was definitely just trying to, like, get up and start. Like, for me, it's literally the biggest issue is, trying to get, how do I put it? So like let's say for example like I've been having this problem lately where it's like, oh, I want to go like video edit, right? So I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna go edit a video. Let me like watch a YouTube video real fast, or like put on some like music or whatever, and then I see shorts, and then I go on the shorts, and then I don't stop. Dude, it happened yesterday. I was like, I tried video editing at 5 p.m. and I couldn't stop till 10. But like, yeah, it's getting those like habits of just trying to stop it. Oh my god, you knew a guy who, what? Me be god damn it. Alright, anyways. What would you say, like, for yourself is like some things that you've learned, like, that are like the most crucial steps for you for like trying to improve and all that?
Most crucial steps?
Like some like really helpful hints or tips, I guess you could say.
For like staying on task or like getting started, like
Anything, man. It's got like that's for staying on task, but like what helps you overall productivity, or like what's like the one like hardest thing for you? Jesus Christ, I'm not drinking water. I'm putting a pause in the water. This interview will never continue. Unfortunately, I got like cut off relatively short compared to most I do, because I had a psychiatrist appointment. I completely forgot about that. So there's that. Posture though, thank you. So yeah, continue, man.
Yeah, for me, like one of the best things for like staying productive that has helped me is having like some sort of dedicated time where it's meant to be just like that's the time you're gonna work on the thing, whatever you're working on, or like and scheduling helps a lot with me too. Like I just schedule some random like some movable blocks. They're flexible. They're not like I have to work on I have to study for like 2 hours. It's not like that. It's like study during this period of time, and if you finish early, do something else. Or if you don't have studying, just fill it the time with whatever you want. It's not like strict time scheduling. But also like I find myself more productive in the morning. So I find it that it's like best to find when throughout the day that you're the most productive, and like put your most important tasks during that time, because if the times where you're most productive in the day, you have the most energy and focus, so it's easier to stay on task and everything. A lot easier than like you come home from a long day of work and you're exhausted, and then you have to overcome the willpower to want to edit your video that you forgot to edit yesterday. Like it just becomes so much easier to have that, like, to do the most important things when you have the most energy in the day.
Makes a lot of sense, man. All right, quick question for chat though. How's the audio between like me and Austin? Like, is he way louder than I am? Is he not loud enough? One thing I wonder, I always mess up with audio every time I come back on stream. But no, I fully agree with what you said, man. Because I think one thing I definitely struggle with is if I wake up too late, I might have that thing of like, I woke up too late already, so like, you know what, let me do this thing real fast. I might procrastinate for like an hour, And then when I procrastinate for an hour, it's like, oh well, it's already 12, so I might as well not even begin. Like it makes zero sense. But for some reason, it's kind of like how my brain works sometimes. Because it's too late. It's like it's whatever, you know. But I think the thing that also helps me the most was waking up early. Is the fact that like no one else is awake. So I'm like, all right, zero distractions, you know. Usually people are like busy doing like live stuff or whatever, so it's just like I can fully focus on it.
Morning power hour.
Pretty much, man. Yeah. So yeah. So what you say is like, is there like a peak time for it, or is it comes to a point where it's like too early? Because one thing that I notice a lot too, if I wake up too early, right? Like for my job, I used to wake up around like 5 in the morning, and so then for a few days I'll be just used to waking up at 5 in the morning. But the problem is when I wake up that early, I wake up and I'm like, dog, it's dark outside, man. Fuck that shit. Like maybe I might be productive for like maybe like half an hour or so, and I'm like, I'm going back to bed. And then I end up sleeping like in way longer than I would have just like waking up at a normal time.
It kind of depends on the person, but usually as long as you're getting like enough sleep, enough quality sleep, because quality matters, it usually doesn't matter like how early. Like if you have, as long as you have like a few hours before like you have to do some other stuff, like a few hours before you have to like go to work or something like that, unless you're doing stuff like after work. But if you're trying to like get some stuff done before work, waking up like a couple hours before work, and you can go right ahead and work on your important tasks for the day.
Hmm. I hear. Sorry, Chad keeps telling me to play Anaphobia. I have zero idea what that is. I feel like it's a mixture of the word phobia and anime. I don't know. Oh man, let's see. My friends have a timed sun lamp to help wake up when it's still dark out. That's smart. I didn't even heard about that, to be honest. A timed sun lamp.
I have something like that too.
So what is
I
it
have
exactly?
a
Oh,
it slowly starts to get brighter as like it slowly starts to get brighter as the time of the alarm is about to hit. So like it starts out as like a light that's not as bright, and then slowly gets to a really bright light to try to like simulate the shift from night to day.
oh, dang, that's pretty cool. What's like the benefits to that compared to like lights on immediately?
Um well, the benefit to that is it's a slowly progresses your body to prepare it to wake up. Where like if you wake up to like an audio alarm or something like that, it's actually startles your body's like stress system and adrenaline, which is why sometimes the alarms don't work or you're still tired, is because you're literally just getting a spike of adrenaline in the morning to like force your body awake rather than gradually wake it up.
It makes a lot of sense because like what's it called? When you wake up with a lot of cortisol, it's also why I don't recommend having like super large alarms either. Because like it stays with you throughout your day for the most part, right?
Yep.
All right. I'm getting more
Also,
drink water.
drinking enough water in the day helps you sleep.
Oh, see, there we go. See, here's the problem. I'm out. Wait, fuck, the camera doesn't see. Yeah, I'm fuck. There we go. So, I'm gonna get some more water real fast. But all right, everyone's playing Anaphobia. Different stream maybe. I'll take a look into what that game is. But before then, I'm gonna get some water. In the meantime, do you want to like, explain cortisol, I guess, or like some kind of advice, I suppose? Some cool knowledge from the from the head of Austin.
I have to share things.
Yeah, you gotta share. Time to share. Give me one quick second to get some water.
Story time. Yeah. But yeah, essentially like having too high cortisol for too long, it's like the stress hormone. So it's like having that um too often, too much affects everything from your sleep and your physical health and even your mental health. So it like puts you in a closer state where you're going to be more likely to burn out, depressed, or anxiety, or have like bouts of anxiety and stuff like that. So it's like good to manage stress and keep that cortisol down any way possible. Whatever like you find that can take a break from the day to enjoy it helps a lot. I typically end up liking to at least have like an hour in the day where I get to like just relax and play games, watch TV,
All right, I'm back.
and that's
Oh,
like, hey, welcome back to my stream. I've been hosting this stuff.
thank you. So what were you saying on your stream just a second ago? So I can stay a little caught up.
I was just saying how like managing stress and keeping the cortisol levels low helps prevent like helps with all aspects of your like health, like your physical, mental, and like sleeping, and also how it's like having them too high too often just leads to like burnout and also like mental health issues, like having more frequent depression, anxiety, and just it makes it harder to focus and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure,
Now
man.
it's good to
100%.
do stuff in the day to manage that, manage your stress levels to stay healthy.
Yeah, man, for real. When you're, I'm robbing people. Cause I'm asking for $1 in Patreon. Sorry. Anyways, nah. So like, what's it called? Give me like what's it called? Could you give some like more specific examples about how like cortisol can just like, ruin your day?
Examples about like typically the day, but like a lot, like if you're like having high cortisol in the morning, like you just wake up to an alarm, maybe you're starting to run late to work, that's more cortisol. And then because you're stressed out having all this like stuff going on, you like forget your you forget everything you need for work or school while you're about to head out. You get there, you forgot it all. Now your stress is higher. Your just day keeps going worse. You mess up because you're stressed. Your boss gets mad at you. You're even more stressed now. Cortisol high. Going home
Downward
from work,
spiral.
having a stress. Yep, going home from work, having a stressful day, a bad morning. You let it get to you, and you end up like forgetting to eat because you're stressed and you're trying to relax, but you also won't. You're also putting off all your after work responsibilities for another time because you're too stressed to handle it at the moment. Then because you're stressed, you have a difficult time sleeping because if you're not getting yourself relaxed before like going to bed, you're at a higher chance of like having trouble falling asleep. So, and then the next day you could wake up more stressed, low sleep.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense, man. Dang, it really was one thing adds to the other, like a domino effect. Also, where he just mentioned how I make 10 a month on Patreon. That I'm rich. Cash money, boy, cash money. But yeah, man, I fully agree with that. Not only that, but like one thing I want to comment, a bit more specific to me because I got ADHD. So for those that have like other like mental stuff or so, right? So with ADHD is more so like an emotional part of it is like amplified with a lot of things. And so again, like with the whole cortisol thing, like dude, it can just like that. And then it's like, oh, actually, you know what's crazy? I hear about people with like BPD. People with them, it's probably even more important from what I understand. When they're in a bad mood or like cortisol spikes or whatever, right? If they're not feeling well, it just takes way longer for it to go down. Like it just won't for like throughout the entire day. Like that's nuts. So yeah, definitely keeping it down is definitely super super important. So I think it's cool, like that idea of the
And
sun lamp. Oh,
if it happens too often, it lowers your immune system.
oh yikes, that's not good. Hey, Killerston, what's up? It says in our interview stream,
Yeah.
yes sir, we're having an art quiz. Oh, we're not having an art quiz, but we're just interviewing. It says who's this guy? Killerston or
Oh, cool. I didn't want a pop quiz.
that it is pretty cool actually. What's it called? I did a quiz where it's like a Japanese quiz, not just about Japanese, but like Japan in general. And if I got 10 questions wrong, I have to, the chat makes me buy an outfit. So I end up getting it wrong. That's just a super hard one. Yeah, I failed. They found a pink cat girl maid outfit, and I'll be doing a drinking stream on Sunday with that. So you've seen Kill la Kill before, right?
Cat girl. Wow. You finally become a true streamer.
Oh yeah, I have. Oh yeah, I have. I'm gonna be watching like Kill la Kill, and anytime there's like a loot thing happens, big text or Michael's being dumb, I have to take a drink. So it's gonna be like a counter on the end. I'm gonna do that for like a couple hours to see it go on. Well, I'm wearing the fucking outfit, man. Jesus Christ. Yeah. So, yeah. I blame Word Idiots for that
What
one.
the hell?
They chose the outfit. Yeah, that's a bit out there, but I think it's pretty funny. But yeah. No, but no quiz for today. Just asking about life. Life. What is life?
What is life?
So, all right. Yeah, what's a life coach? Hey, what's up, Fluggle? Oh. All right, in your turn, how you describe a life coach real fast?
Well, yeah, essentially a life coach just helps people like reach their goals and like their next level. They help them plan goals and um they let the clients guide a lot of the discussion um and they ask a lot of questions to help them figure out what they're missing, like why they're not reaching their goals and stuff. And there's a lot of different like kinds of life coaches. Like there's like um there's wellness life coaches which like focus on the overall like health space, like mental, emotional, physical. And then there's like purpose coaches that help people find their like purpose and meaning and find careers that match that. And there's also like just career coaches. They'll just help with career stuff. There's a lot of different categories, and there's also just generally being a life coach, which is just like you just help with all sorts of different problems.
Focus on your nightmare client then. Fluggle wise, also, one thing I think is pretty cool about life coaching compared to like what I initially thought it was beforehand is the fact that you said you have the clients answer it themselves. It's not like, oh, hey doc, I got an issue. What is it? And you're like, well, it's this, and this, and you got to fix this by doing this. It's not like this straight cut thing. It's more so about like asking the client and getting them to realize the issues and them realizing what the problem is and how to fix it. Because if I believe correctly, right, if you just like tell someone to do something, they're not gonna do it for the most part. Kind of like an anime recommendation. Bro, you gotta watch ReZero, bro. That shit slaps so hard. And they're like, yeah, everyone keeps telling me. It's like whatever. Compared to like the one day they just like scroll through like Twitter or anything like that, they find something cool about ReZero and like, dang, that looks fucking cool. I'm gonna go check it out. It doesn't equivalent to the same amount of like 10 recommendations their friends gives or so.
Follow advice, or like especially if they don't want that to whatever advice they're given, and people oftentimes would are more likely to take action if they came up with their own answer to a problem rather than being given the answer. And you learn a lot more about like how to think about your problems if you come up with your own answer rather than if someone gives you the answer.
Yeah, 100%, man. So, question, man. How many people have you worked with before then? Like, how many clients have you had?
I've worked with like so far I've worked with I think 12 different clients for like a few months at a time with each one. And I've like worked with some that were like over in like Europe, and I've worked with one that was in India,
Dang.
and then the rest of them were from the US.
I see. Sorry, let's answer chat real fast. So, where's the hub girl? I have another guest that comes on pretty often.
I thought I was the hub girl.
Oh my god, hub girl number 2. I have another guest who usually comes on here, and she uses a V2 model. And it's like a Gyaru girl, right? So it looks like she's part of the hub. But no, she only comes like every now and then. Yeah. But what's it called? Fully say, okay, this is kind of interesting. I wonder if you've dealt with this topic or not. Again, if you don't want to respond, it's whatever, right? But Fully says how to come up with an answer if your body's literally falling apart. Have you ever had like people talk about like their like, disabilities, stuff like that, and how that interferes with what they do?
It's like it depends on what they're specifically trying to accomplish. Like if they're trying to like accomplish something like physical, it would probably involve helping them come up with like answers to repair their body depending on like what the actual physical issues are. Like if they're like permanently disabled, like legs down, I can't help them come up with an answer on how to like walk. Um but like if they're having like certain physical issues, like it would help them come up with answers to like overcome some of the symptoms or like repair the body and different like habits and stuff, or helping them stick to like say physical therapy if like their body's falling apart and they're in physical therapy to try to repair that. The physical therapist would be the one that's like helping them come up with like what they need to do, because that wouldn't be my lane as like a coach, but like my lane would be like helping them stick to that plan if they like need it.
I hear you.
Oh,
Fogo asked a really
it,
interesting
it
question.
can
So Fogo says, so basically you're partially working as as a psychotherapist.
um sort of in a way it can be similar to that. Us in psychotherapy, they do a lot more of the they still collaborate with like the clients, but they do a lot more of the they hold a lot more planning. Like they do a lot more of the coming up with like an actual like action plan for the client, where like they will still work together to develop the plan, but like the psychotherapist holds more of like an educate like a educational role where they'll have a lot more like education to share. I'm also like currently training to be like a mental health counselor as well, so I'm learning a lot about because like psychotherapy and stuff like that.
Man, that's really cool, man. I always got like fascinated by like psychology, all type of stuff. I think it's super cool. And all right, this is really cool about what Keller Stan said right here. This are life coaches permanent? You mentioned some clients lasted a few months. So do life coaches work as on a specific issue?
Coaches tend to work on just like a specific issue that the client has. Like the first session with a life coach is usually free because it's usually like a consultation where you get to see what like coach how coaching works, and if coaching is for you, if the client and the coach have like the right chemistry to work together, because not every client is right for every coach. So it's important to evaluate that. And while you're doing that, you're typically coming up with like helping them, well, not helping them, but like they come to you with a specific problem or thing they're trying to work on, so you try to help them help like narrow down what the actual problem is, so that to see if they want to work with you on that problem. And every like life coach is different. Some life coaches do like shorter term problems, like few months, which is what I've been doing. But some life coaches, like they're like, we're gonna do like work on this problem for a year, and that it just depends on the size of the problem and what the capabilities of the coach is.
Dang, I see. I like how Flogo emphasizes here. Yeah, chemistry couldn't be more true. Spent over 2 years changing therapists. I mean, I hear a lot of stories of people getting like just maybe not bad therapists, but it's not they're bad for them in particular. So yeah, for sure. Having someone like melds well does like all the difference for sure. So yeah, one thing I thought
It
was
matters a lot because if you're not right for each other, you're actually just hurting both of you. You're not helping the client. They're not, um, and you're not doing good as a coach if you're not able to um, help the client in what they've decided to pay you for.
right. God damn it. God damn it. My therapist saying that I'm mentally insane. Oh, instead of Sigma. Oh, I thought it said mentally insane with Sigma. Oh, unlucky. No good. Sigma's the goal. Unlucky. All right. Anyways, man. So, all right. What do you guys say is like the part you love the most about coaching? I think I might have asked that sooner, but I kind of forgot a little bit.
most about coaching is like when having like the conversations with the clients and suddenly they're like, oh wait a minute, why didn't I think of that before? Like, and then
Right.
they come back like the next session and they're like, oh shit, I just made a ton of progress. I now I've already got the groundwork for my business set up. Or like now I got like I've been sticking to this habit for like 3 months now, like building my health. Like it's insane and fun to actually see that kind of impact and actually directly hear the impact because you're directly talking to the person you're helping.
Right. Seeing them grow and progress and like being able to achieve the dreams that they wanted to. And like you're a key factor into making that become a reality, right?
Yeah, that's like the main thing is because like I like helping people grow. So like when they can reach the next step, that's fantastic. It's also just like fun to see people build a story because better people make like a better world. So if you're helping make better people, then those people are helping make a better world.
Yeah. Dude, I like that, man. Once it got help Leo stop procrastinating. I'm not procrastinating that bad. Where it says right here, give me a goal. I think that's kind of interesting because, like, for I think you kind of can't give someone a goal. Would you say?
No, it doesn't really work like that. You can't really give someone a goal. Just like you can't actually change someone because they have to want what they're gonna work towards. Like 90% of the motivation in like reaching a goal is actually wanting what you're trying to work for. Like that's like a huge portion of the motivation. Like if you don't want to like if you don't want to say work in the computer industry and you've just been dragging your feet working in the computer industry, you're just gonna like hate yourself. You're gonna be like, wow, why am I working so hard for a company that hates me?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
or
rough,
like
man.
what? Like you're like you have a goal to develop your career in like the computer industry, and you're like, wow, I hate this. Why? And you're never reaching that goal, and you're like, why am I not reaching that goal? Oh yeah, because I hate what I'm doing.
Are you perhaps projecting a little bit?
Not 100%.
I have a perfect clip to this as an answer. Let me see it. But what's it called? On the same man, it reminds me of like last week or something like that. So I work at a gas station, right? And one of the guys there that was like a tech guy supposed to fix the stuff came over and has like a long discussion with me. He's like, dude, you gotta work in computer science, man. You gotta become like a coding engineer, software engineer, right? And I was like, dog, I hate that shit. Like I can't. The idea of like working with code and then I messed up the code because I added a period on accident, spending hours trying to fix it. Like, screw that noise, right? It's like, yeah, I think this trying to force like trying to force goals onto people definitely isn't the way to go about it. But that's kind of what I like about the life coach because it helps you find your goal. You know what I mean? Through yourself, an aspect. Figure out what you enjoy most. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Also, apparently misunderstood. When the viewer says like, "Oh, help me with the goal," they meant with the game, not this, like not life, but I like the topic. It kind of worked out. All right. All right. So Killerson says software engineers make big money, but they make that much for a reason. It's a huge pain. Yeah. Yeah, for real, man. I mean, hey,
Yeah.
no pain, no gain, am I right?
Well,
Also, I've never played City
honestly,
Skylines
yeah.
before. I don't know how
But
it works.
also, a lot of it's also Googling too. I worked as a software engineer too. I like Googled a lot, almost all of the time, and a lot of people did that.
Yeah, professional Googlers.
But
Stack Overflow.
but also like, but it's also like if you have a goal you do want to work on, like you do actually want that you've worked on, you're gonna while you're learning and accomplishing that goal you will learn a lot quicker because of just the fact that you like the subject matter. So like just because you like it you're gonna make it far farther. And also like almost anything, like if you get good at it you can make money off of it. And sometimes as you get even better you just make more money off of it, especially like in like this day where we got like Twitch streaming and YouTube, and you can like make money off of that just for like the stupidest videos. Like there's stupid.
Okay. I want to get into what Cinewolf said in a second, but before that,
Yeah.
Killerson says, by the way, do you have a website or something like to help set up life coaching sessions?
Yes, I do have a website. I have a website to help set that up, and I have like my own like business email and stuff like that set up.
Do you want to send it to me so I can send it over in chat?
Yeah.
Sweet. As you do that, one thing I want to mention real fast I think is pretty cool. Cinewolf says, passion and spite are two powerful emotional driving forces. Here's the thing though about when it comes with spite. I think having what's called like passion is definitely like I say is like clean energy. It gives me spite or like anger or like that type of stuff is like using like dirty energy, if you get what I mean. In the sense of like if you fuel yourself with like more like the like angry emotions, in my opinion, or like spite, whatever, right? I feel like it's much easier to burn out much quicker compared to if you have passion. What's your take on that, Austin?
Acted because I was getting the the
Sorry.
website.
No, you're good. You're good. But oh, you got it. All right, cool. Here, I'm gonna go send it over in chat. So hey, if you guys want to like set up interview or it's not interview, but like life coaching session with Austin and all that, that's the website over there, capexistence.com. So yeah, pretty nice. So yeah. Oh, I never said both are good for us. That's true. It's true. True. But yeah. So what do you say about in your opinion on that, Austin? Oh, that's right. You didn't hear what I
What?
said.
That's
My bad. You disappeared. That's not good.
You disappeared on.
Uh, uh, that's not good. That just suddenly happened.
You're back.
Yeah, but you're not. Show on stream. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. See, it's all fixed. I am a professional. There we go. But yeah. So what I was saying earlier is what's it called? For read again, Cinewolf says, passion and spite are two powerful emotional driving forces, and I kind of compared passion and spite as passion being like clean energy, and it's called spite or like anger to like help drive you is more like dirty energy, whereas you're gonna burn out much quicker.
Yeah, there's actually some like interesting discussion when it comes to being fueled by passion or fueled by spite, in the essence that like oftentimes negative motivation like spite actually helps you get started, but it's not sustainable, whereas like passion helps you keep going, whereas passion is not that great for getting started. Usually it can be, but like someone who's like, I want to exercise because I don't want to become this fat gross person, like sometimes that actually is better for getting them started like at the goal, but then they're like, wait a minute, I like being healthy, I actually like this. So it's like,
but no, 100%.
it's kind of crazy because it's kind of crazy because like that's called like shadow work, is like using your negative motivations to like, well, part of shadow work is like using your negative motivations to like help get you started. Like, I don't want to be like on the street homeless kind of thing, like, so I'm gonna do this like job, this thing to make money. But I don't know, that one's not a good example because then you get stuck in some situations you don't want to be in. But
Right. I mean, maybe something about having like a strong consequence is also a good factor of being able to do your stuff, right?
yeah, like we don't like to lose what we have, so like finding some motivation in not losing what you have actually is helpful for getting started. Like,
100%. All right, Carson says, if you had to choose one, passion and spite, or sorry, or spite, which would you choose? I mean, again, like passion's where it's at compared to spite. I think spite's stronger a little bit in the beginning, but like again, it's strong for like a little bit and it's like gone, or it becomes like really unhealthy and it's like end up being stress. It's even worth it at that point, you know?
yeah. Well, like, yeah, like long-term spite is just not healthy, but and it also will fizzle. It won't usually stay forever.
Yeah. It's called. Yeah, some people said something pretty deep. First is the source of the spite also really affects it. I have a friend who uses their spite towards their abusive family as fuel to their life, to live their life to the fullest, right? And while it's cool that they're trying to live their life to the fullest and all that, I feel like I don't know what you can do about that though. You know what I mean? I don't know the specific situations that makes it a bit more complicated. But like if you had to choose though, I definitely go with passion. Just feels like the healthier option, isn't it? Oh, Flugel sent a clip. Let me take a look at that real quick. I'm curious.
That's
Oh.
that's similar to what I was talking about, where spite can be good for getting started, like spite as the starting fuel to live life to their fullest, but like that spite might fizzle out. So it would be good to like have some passion about like why living their life to the fullest, like what they're currently getting out of living their life to the fullest.
Yeah, 100%.
To help develop some passion to keep sustaining that.
A quick side tangent real fast. Flugel sent a clip, and I just want to take a quick look at it. Apparently it has to do with this. I'm going to look at it for like 10 seconds.
Enjoy this job?
Enjoy? Enjoy? What kind of question is that? It is my job. It is what I do for the good of my society. My personal enjoyment does not enter into it.
I didn't quite catch that. Simple, just enjoying your job, I think. Sorry, Flugel, me like talk about a bit more, like specify what about it. Also, I'm not even sure if you're able to hear that or not, so I apologize. All right, Sinwolf says right here, I will handle it in a very healthy way and combine all the things that they're passionate about. Oh, so they handle it in a very healthy way. I guess there's some ways that if you're able to control the spite, right? Can you change the background music?
If they're using it healthy.
Dime is unbreakable. All right, you know what? I'll do it for a song. 1 second. Diamond is unbreakable. I got you. It's just such a bop. All right. anyways, right? The next thing we can ask here, I give him this problem like, oh, it's called. I have an idea, and I want to ask it, and then I completely get sidetracked. Thank you. You're welcome. Oh, okay. Question. What do you say is like, if you could share a bit more about like your own struggle, if you don't mind with that. What would you say like the hardest like hurdle you've overcome? If you're cool with sharing it, and like what was the process with all that, and like how like life coaching or like self improvement, anything like that had to do with it directly.
The hardest struggle I had to overcome was like honestly building motivation and stuff like that, like especially like out of high school, because I didn't really like I had an okay time in high school, but I was like overall I was like more depressed and like didn't really want to do anything other than like play games or watch TV. I did do some sports and like wrestling and football in high school, but like, and I enjoyed the community aspect of that. But like outside, it was mostly just like video games and like watching TV, and it was really just like feeling depressed and like trying to get better at like working out, but like only staying on it for like a month at a time at most, and then like dropping it for like a few months.
Dang.
So like it was kind of crazy, but like it took me a while to like build a nice sense of motivation, and it didn't really come in till like I left high school and started college and got out of like an unhealthy relationship. So like after getting out of that, like I was just like I got like motivated, made myself motivated by like keeping everything like making all the changes but in small ways, like first starting like establishing like healthy exercise and like mental stress relief activities like meditation and journaling, and going for more walks and setting up time for me to be able to like study and began tutoring people as well while I was doing that to make some extra money, but also to like because it was felt good to like help people like get out of their own struggles. And then I chose to start reading a lot, like form a habit to like read. I started with like a couple pages a day and eventually moved up to like a chapter a day, and I was like reading a lot about like building habits and and like changing mindset and stuff like that. And it did also take a lot of work of like changing the way I talk to myself, like correcting myself if I say bad things about myself. Like if I say, "Wow, why are you so stupid?" Why, like if I ever told myself like, "Why are you so stupid for like messing up?" I'd correct and be like, "Nah, it's an understandable mistake. Like, dude, come on, you're not doing bad. You're still doing good." Like correcting that
Right.
self-talk, it takes a lot of work because any self-talk is like ingrained in you from like years of both like parents telling you stuff and you telling yourself that same stuff or even different stuff. And like it's a crazy statistics, but like most of our thoughts, I don't know what how they studied this, but like most of our thoughts that we repeat in our head are negatives, like in modern times. So it's like, but it feeds into you because you actually will act in ways based on how you think. Like thoughts don't directly lead to action, but oftentimes the way you think about yourself leads to the actions you're going to take.
100%.
So correcting your own thought patterns to yourself, it was like is good, and it also was like what I had to do to like get out of like a negative headspace. And for now, for the most part, like I'm not usually in a negative headspace like throughout most of the time. Like I'm usually just in a good headspace, just working towards things, and occasionally get into a negative headspace.
Mm. Flo says, I still something familiar with his words, don't you? I'm failing to understand what sounds familiar with his words. I was going to say a lot. One thing I like that what's called Mr. Kanoff said though says gaslighting yourself truly one of the many kinds of nightmares to experience. I like that way of putting it as just gaslighting yourself with the way you can like negative talk to yourself. I definitely think that's probably one of the biggest things to like overcome, especially I feel like in this day and age with the whole like self-deprecating humor and all type of stuff. Now I cringe a lot whenever I hear people kind of like just put themselves under and kind of like make fun of themselves or like put themselves down. But made me realize that's really really prevalent and it really does comes into your affects your psyche a lot. Like even if you say it's like as like a joke, right? Oh, dude, it affects you a lot, man. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah, your brain doesn't understand that it's a joke, and it's like kind of crazy because it
Oh,
just like it will stick, and you'll keep telling yourself those same stories.
right. All right, question, right? You know the word brooding? What?
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it! I'm the only one that doesn't know the word
Yes.
brooding. Oh well, I got a whole argument. That's like some lore, but like that's a whole thing. Luca says, "Hey, what's heyo all? What's going on, Luca? How you be, my guy? What's it called?" But anyways, Killerson says asked a good question earlier. Have you ever used a life coach, and what inspired you to be a life coach?
I've used a life coach a couple times because as part of like the training to become a life coach, it involved like having practice clients, but also I volunteered to be like practice clients for other people, and it helped me like discover more about my goals and um, develop better social skills in different situations. And I also used it to help and then after like getting set up, I used it to help develop like the business side of things because I don't know um didn't know a lot about business and still don't know a lot about business, but I'm working on that because business is like the biggest part to how you actually get people to like want to be clients and stuff like that. Eh, like no matter what you do, even if you're like on YouTube or streaming, there's an aspect to it where you gotta know business just to like get people to come in.
Right. One thing I want to mention real fast. So Lucas said, asked, "What is a life coach?" And then Fluggle said, "Long story short, is a guru." I feel like it's different. How would you explain that it's different?
Yeah, it's a different because a guru is more likely to like help give you answers, like a lot more answers than a life coach. A life coach is a life coach is more like you guide them to the answers, but also you provide tools that can help them reach those answers as well. Like there's tools that can help clients find their values or their goals and stuff like that if they're having trouble doing it with just like questions and just self exploration with the help of the coach.
Lucas says, "Is life coach in our way to say therapist?"
Um,
Again, I feel like it's different though.
yeah, it's a little bit. It's still different because a therapist works more based on like a medical model of like diagnosis and treatment, and they also will come up with more of like a treatment plan than a life coach will, because a life coach will just work with the client to help them develop um, their own goals, and it's not always tied to like mental health and wellness. It can be tied to all the um, career and other things like that.
Right, 100%. Kirsten, they're gonna head out. They only slept for like 4 hours. Get the sleep, my guy. Getting a proper amount is definitely where
Yeah,
it's
get
at.
those 8 hours.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. You have a good night, miss. Thanks for stopping by though. Oh man, I kind of want to go into a whole thing about sleep in a second, but before I do that, one thing I want to like put in a bit more about how I say difference between like a therapist or like a life coach and all that. One thing that helped me a lot is that there's an emphasis on when you're with a life coach, you are finding your own answers compared to them just feeding you the answers. I remember you said earlier that one of the things that you found really satisfying is that you'd help one of your clients, and then they come back to you and they're like, "Oh, why didn't I think of that before? Oh my god!" And then it helps them a lot. And I definitely had that many times when you were like life coaching me like back in the day, for sure. I remember it'd be like, "So, where's some problems going on?" I'm like, "Oh man, I'm not productive with this thing, or I have this problem with this thing." And he's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Why?" Like, I don't know. Something about like being asked why is like the biggest thing that helps the most. And one thing that I emphasize about like a life coach is the fact that I think kind of like the goal is that you don't want a life coach forever. It's more so they're gonna give you the tools so that you be able to like be more productive or work on your thing on your own to help you get to your own point where you can like come up with your own problems and all type of stuff. Fix your own problems, I mean. And definitely I fully agree with that. There's been a lot of times where I've struggled with something. I'll just think to myself, man, what would Austin say right now? And I kind of like replay the questions you give me in my mind, mainly by just asking why. And dude, helps a lot, man. Definitely helped a lot more than my therapist. But oh man. But yeah, I was wondering if you want to go into a little like side rant about sleep.
Side rant about sleep.
Yeah. Oh, also, I'm not gonna look at music right now. I'm just gonna play this playlist, but I'll take a look at it later. I'll just read the lyrics, don't you listen? Oh. That's a lot of reading right now. I'll take a look into it later, right? But yeah, so Austin, if you don't mind going a bit about sleep.
Talk about sleep. Sleep is
Good.
important.
It's good. No sleep? Bad.
Oh yeah.
No, I was wondering if you had
Yeah.
some what's it called? Oh, that's a stream topic to go over music song lyrics. I like that a lot actually. I know one song where it kind of reminds me a lot about like self-improvement, whatever. Actually, I could probably bring it up, but like probably not right now. But as a stream talk, not bad idea. One thing I want to mention about sleep though, right? You said earlier about like cortisol and all type of stuff, because it doesn't help with cortisol and like kind of flush out all type of stuff, I guess you could say. Or if there's like any other specifics you know that like sleep can help out with.
Sleep is a lot of times where your mind is repairing itself in the body. So a lot of um things happen while you sleep that if you're not getting enough sleep, they're not happening as efficiently, like repairing the body and the mind, and also when you sleep, that's when your brain's actually digesting the information that you've learned throughout the day. So you don't start storing a lot of things into like the long-term memory until you've gone to sleep. So you're affecting your memory and everything when you're not sleeping enough.
I like what Mr. cannot enough really emphasize. If you want to memorize something, you have to have sleep. I remember that was super key for me when I was learning Japanese for sure, because I can like study for like 8 hours a day or whatever, right? But if I only slept for like a couple hours, I'm not gonna retain most of it. Getting the most amount of sleep definitely helps a lot with that. There's no point in what's called like spending all these hours studying it if you're not gonna retain it, right?
Uh, and if you go like if you're not getting enough sleep, you're just also hurting your next day's study session because you're gonna have a less focus and less ability to actually retain the information just because of the lack of sleep.
Right. Because I have a hack for memory. Well, don't need sleep at all. The second, no, no, no. Of course. Why sleep when you could be productive? You know what I mean? Like I could sleep for 8 hours, but what if I studied for like 5 more hours? Sleep for 3. It's no big deal. I get 5 more hours of sleep. I have 5 more hours of work. And then I remember 20% of it. Oh man. But not only that, it comes to a whole thing about being productive during the next day. Because again, if you're like sleep deprived, it affects how efficient you can be within that hours of study. It's kind of the idea of like you could study with
Yep.
like YouTube playing on the background and have your notifications on, the messaging here and there. You can study for like 4 hours, right? But if you like just turned off all other distractions and just hard focus for like even an hour, you can probably make much more progress within like 5 hours of distracted time. And
Yep.
I feel a lot whenever I try video editing. Again, that was my whole big problem yesterday. I tried making a video, but the next thing you know, I'm like, I'll keep a video on the background. And then I just got so focused on that, which led me to a whole different rabbit hole. I gotta say, like, all right, do not disturb. Definitely the biggest life hack of, of all time for sure. All right, Ellis.
It up whenever I'm working on things that require focus, studying or reading.
That's good, man. Let's say, all right, what do you say is like your biggest tip for like not being distracted, or things that helped you personally with not being distracted?
Honestly, one thing that is really helpful is having a specific location that you do your focus time in, because your brain remembers the location you do things. So if you're trying to say do homework while in the same place you watch TV, your brain's going to also be thinking about TV while you're studying, even if you're not actively thinking about it. So you'll be like, oh, maybe I should turn on the TV while I'm playing. Whereas, like, if you have a dedicated location to study, even if it's like a different corner of the room, it helps your brain be like, okay, I'm in study mode right now.
I think I gotta do that.
And there's also a good strategy as well that I do, is like scheduling your distractions actually helps you stay focused while you're actually doing your work, because then you can be like, okay, in 1 hour I'm gonna be on my video games or on my TV or watching anime or something like that. But like, and having that like schedule actually does help keep you focused during times when you want to focus, because you're like, oh cool, at like 2 o'clock I'm about to let my brain roam free,
Right, makes a lot of sense, man.
let it be distracted.
I would say back in the day, one thing that helped me a lot was, again, this was when we were coaching, or you were coaching me. I came with the idea of, oh, I have an unused room upstairs, so therefore I'm going to use that to go study my Japanese. And I go there and be super productive because I'm in that mindset of, oh, I learned Japanese. Now I have a problem of like, oh, a lot of my stuff I have to do on my computer, right? Here's the problem. My bed's right there. So like, I might be a bit productive or so. I'm like, man, I'm kind of sleepy right now, dog. And I'll just like go to bed, or I just struggle to go fall asleep because again, my computer's right here. Like, man, I could be doing work. I could be playing video games right now. Like shit. So getting that all separated definitely helps a lot. Having that own dedicated spot where you just think of solely that one thing.
That same idea is also ties right into sleep. Whereas if you do a lot of stuff from your bed, you're gonna have trouble falling asleep, because your brain's like, oh, cool. Your brain's gonna start thinking about like, oh, I play video games while I'm sitting in my bed. Oh, I eat while I'm sitting in my bed. Oh, I read books, and then it's just confused about like what it should be doing while sitting in bed or
Yeah.
laying down.
For sure. One thing like Lucas says is, finally a life coach that acknowledges
What with anime?
like tie anime in with there, so like compare life coaching with anime. I think that's a whole big thing about a lot of animes trying to like improve yourself, be the best, you know.
Well,
Jumping through
honestly,
hurdles.
like some anime actually has some like if some anime actually has some like inspiring stories and stuff like that. Like not everyone. Some of them are pretty dark, but like some of them really have like really positive messages that can also help self-talk, especially if like you relate to a character, because like you start to take on personality traits of
Wait,
people and
quick
fictional
second, quick
characters you
second.
relate to.
Wait, they said the sound died. Fuck.
The
Fuck.
sound died.
The sound died. Fuck. That's not good. I don't know how to fix this. It says on my thing it's working though. Like mute everything. Unmute everything.
I can hear you.
I can hear you too. I don't know. I have something downloading in the background maybe. I don't see it. What do I do? My guess is they still can't hear me. So